So you do bring a lot of diversity to this role because you had the opportunity to serve 2 years as the ambassador to the UN, really standing up against foreign adversaries like China and Iran. I can remember watching you with great pride during that time. So when our country, you know, is struggling economically, why is it so important that we not overlook foreign policy as well? Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's national security. And look, let me tell you, if you look at the situation around the world, there's a lot of threats coming to America. I mean, you've got Russia invading Ukraine, you've got Iran building a bomb, you've got North Korea testing ballistic missiles, you've got China on the march. But make no mistake, none of that would have happened had we not had that debacle in Afghanistan. My husband is a combat veteran. He served in Afghanistan. The idea that him and his military brothers and sisters had to watch us leave Bagram Air Force Base in the middle of the night without telling our allies who stood shoulder to shoulder with us for decades because we asked them to be there. Think about what that told our friends. But more importantly, think about what that told our enemies. Now, Iowa's an important state. Yes, because it's the first caucus. I get that. But it's more important than that. Because right now, China's got his eyes set on Iowa. Why? China is our #1 national security threat. They have been planning war with us for years. And that's not being dramatic. Look at the infiltration that China has done. They've bought up 400,000 acres of U.S. soil, most recently near Grand Forks Air Force Base. Right here in Iowa, they bought the largest pork producer in the country. If you want to know what they want, they're going after every farmer. Iowans are very good at agribusiness and agriculture and technology. They are stealing seeds from Iowa because China is food insecure. So they are trying to figure out how to go take what we have so that they don't need us. That's leverage. We need to make sure food security is national security. That's about us, and that's also about the rest of the world. Then you go and you look that they are, like, we have more fentanyl that crossed the border last year that would kill every single American. #1 cause of death for adults 18 to 49, fentanyl. Don't think for a second China doesn't know what they're doing when they send it over. Then you go and you look at the fact that they are filling our universities with millions of dollars to steal our research and spread Chinese propaganda. The Chinese party has Chinese front companies lobbying our Congress on their behalf. And then you go and you look, they steal $600 billion worth of intellectual property from us every year. But now let's talk about military. China now has the largest naval fleet in the world. They have 350 ships. They'll have 400 in 2 years. We won't even have 350 in 2 decades. They have come out with hypersonic missiles. We've barely gotten started. They're doing cyber. They're doing artificial intelligence. They're doing space. And they are now the biggest developer of neurostrike weapons. Neurostrike weapons are where they can engineer to change brain activity of military leaders or groups of the population. It's serious stuff. And now we hear there's malware out there. Chinese have put a code in our systems that our government can't find. And basically what it's done is it is in our network systems. So our power grid, our communication systems, and our water supply. So that's a lot of bad, right? But how do we deal with it? I sat across from China. I negotiated with China. I negotiated with Russia. No one else on this stage has done that the way that I had to do it. You go to China and you go to them with strength. First thing is we make sure they no longer buy U.S. soil and we take back what they've already purchased. We go to our universities and we say, you either take Chinese money or you take American money, but the days of taking both are over, and we get that Chinese infiltration out of our universities. We go to China and we say, we will end all normal trade relations with you until you stop killing Americans. You watch how fast they get that fentanyl off the border. Then you go and you make sure we shouldn't be sending them any technology that builds up their military or helps them threaten us. The Biden administration approved 70% of those requests last year. We will blacklist that and make sure they don't get any of that. And when it comes to our military, We have an amazing military. We need to start using it. And the first way you start using it is you stop making them do gender pronoun classes. Like, that's got to stop. We pull down the bureaucracy in the Department of Defense, we pull down the red tape, and we start making sure we modernize our equipment and ammunition so that we're ready. And then when it comes to the border, we will go and finally deal with the border. First of all, we will make sure we defund sanctuary cities once and for all. Instead of 87,000 IRS agents, we'll put 25,000 Border Patrol and ICE agents and let them do their job. We'll go back to the Remain in Mexico policy, because guess what? Nobody wants to remain in Mexico. And then instead of catch and release, we'll go to catch and deport. That's how you go and make sure we stop the border. Never forget, in the United States, we are a country of laws. The second you stop being a country of laws, you give up everything this country was founded on.